let's have a look at this. So I'll be putting this on YouTube as well, but I'm just going to go look over the patch notes. New zone, solstice, prepare to embark. Can go to one of these people. Go there from a navigator, or jump to a friend, or use one of the character templates. So if you've just made a PTS character, you can just go there. So 5 full length. Okay, so this is his own story. 5 full length objectives, 3 delves, a public dungeon, 3 world bosses, a trial, a new crafting location. Okay, so it's a half zone because it's only got 3 delves, 1 public dungeon, and 3 world bosses, and all the other ones before this have had 6 delves, 6 world bosses, and the most recent zones have also had 2 public dungeons. So this is a half zone. So they have just split the zone in half. So it's not like a full chapter's worth of content and then some more. It's just a full chapter's worth of content split over 2 patches. Unless it turns out that when they release the Eastern Solstice part, it's got more content in it. But by the looks of it, it's just one chapter split over 2 things. New trial, normal, perfected, unique. Oh, okay. So on the PTS, you can activate each of the hard modes individually to facilitate testing. That's really interesting. That's really useful, actually. 113 achievements. We have Worth the Pain, Lord of Suffering, Indomitable, obtained from completing server suffering from veteran Nelson Cage one thing. Item sets. Okay, this is where things get interesting. Okay, so Overland, we've got Max Magicka, 1 magical recovery for every 100 Max Magicka you have. That is, I guess it might be useful for like PvP, but in PvE that's just useless. With 3 magical lines as well, you're just never going to use that in PvE. I guess you could maybe use it in PvP on like a like max Magsork or something. I don't know PvP though, so Death Dancer, max stam, crit chance recovery, adds crit chance while you have 50 or more, reduce the cost of your core combat abilities. Depending on how much crit chance you have, that's potentially not terrible, but it has a stamina recovery line and a max stam line. It's essentially the inverse of Coral. But the problem is that, like, Coral's really, really good. So unless this is giving you, like, Highland Sentinel level crit chance, it's just, you're never going to use it because you're using Coral instead. And in, like, a PvE situation, in a trial situation, you're always going to be above. You're always going to be, like, jumping up and down depending on what you're doing. Heavy set, max health, max stam, max stam. Increased block mitigation and block cost. That's a selfish tank set. So that's, depending on how much it's increased and block cost reduced, that's not terrible. But I wouldn't say it's good. Crafted. So this is our, I'm going to hide the trial sets now. Weapon and spell damage, crit chance, offensive penetration, increase your direct damage done to monsters. Oh, that's actually really interesting. That could be quite good on something like Nightblade, maybe. depending on what this number is, because the thing is, it's saying increase your direct damage done. It's not got any of the numbers, so if this is like something close to velocity, so like 10-15%, that could actually be quite decent. Because it's done to monsters, which means it's the same category as Velothi and Ansel, which is a much less overloaded category, which means that it's a much bigger increase than you'd think, because everything else is just increased damage done. Right, light set, the damage dealer one. Weapon spell damage times 3. Activating synergy grants you a stack of Harmonize for 10 seconds, up to 5 stacks max. Getting 1 stack every 0.5 seconds. Increase your weapon and spell damage per stack of Harmonized. That's not. I mean, depending on how much weapon and spell damage it's giving, that's potentially not bad. That could be. You know what? That could actually be really good with in It's not going to happen because you're running Zens, but that could go quite well with Roar of Alkosh because you're activating synergies anyway. So getting up to 5 stacks will happen just over the course of a fight because because Alkosh is a 10-second cooldown and you're going to be using it on cooldown. So that actually synergizes really well with Alkosh. But once again, it depends on this weapon and spell damage. Also, 3 weapon and spell damage lines, so no pen lines, that's good. They're not crit lines, but they're still pretty nice. This is the healing set. So, healing done, max magicka, healing done. Not bad. While in combat, overhealing done is converted into stored energy for you. After overhealing 10. Okay, that's not great. It's like a resource version of pillagers. So like you overheal, and once you hit a certain mac, you can use this synergy, and it gives everybody stamina magicka back. That's like, but there's not really any situation where you need that. Is the thing. Like you're never like, oh, we need to have a big burst of stamina magicka. So that's not going to be good. Medium set. Weapon to spell damage, penetration, weapon spell damage, pen line, so it's not automatically not going to be amazing. Dealing area direct damage, place a sword above one enemy. You cannot place a sword on an enemy who already has one from you. After 6 seconds, the sword falls, dealing physical damage. This damage cannot critically strike and scales off the higher of your weapon or spell damage. It deals an additional 33% damage for each additional sword you have on other enemies. Okay, so that's kind of like a... It doesn't have a cap. It's the duration on the sword is too long for it to be good in trash. So it's after 6 seconds, which means it's not going to be good, useful in trash because you're going to be you're going to like trash will be dead after 6 seconds. But it could be good in multi-target boss fights, except Azurblight exists. But I have heard a rumor about Azurblight from these patch notes, so we'll see. It's essentially like the direct damage version of Azurblight, though. Heavy set, max health, armor, max stam. Yeah, it's not terrible. Bracing, you create a distortion barrier. You gain armor, and enemies within the barrier have their armor reduced for 2 seconds. And both effects occur every 2 seconds and can each stack up to 3 times. Depending on the number here, this, like, you could look at this as basically an alternative to something like Crimson Oath. So it might be decent in dungeons, maybe. Alkosh is just really good, though, so I don't think we're going to have it replacing that. Mythic, reduce the damage of your light attacks. Your light attacks restore magic or stamina, depending on your equipped weapon type, gaining additional resources when damaging off balance, and less resources when damaging a blocked enemy. Increase the damage of your heavy attacks by increase the damage of your heavy attacks by 50%. That's a typo. Heavy attacks no longer restore resources. Uh, this is going to be quite good on heavy attack builds that aren't utilizing Oaken Soul. And the reason for that is that the increased damage on the heavy attack does is not a named buff, so it will stack with Empower. So if you're gaining Empower from other sources, let's say Mage's Guild, this could actually be quite good. Now it does have to outweigh taking one of the heavy attack monster sets, so something like Anthelmir's Construct or the new Noxious Boulder one. Wait, no, that's not a. Is that a monster set? I'm not sure. Anyway, point is, it has to outweigh those. But if it does, that's going to be really good for those sorts of builds. The light attack restoring magic or stamina, I guess you could use it if you don't need a monster set on a tank, and then it's just kind of like free sustain because it's a lot easier to get a light attack off than a heavy attack. But yeah, who knows? Mad God's Dancing Shoes. While in combat, roll dodging creates a random effect. This effect can occur once every 3 seconds. Effects. Create cheese wheel under an enemy within 50 meters that deals magic damage to enemies. Deal physical damage, deal magic damage, gain a major expedition. So that's a like random. It's not going to be good in PvE because the effect is too random, and some of these are just not going to be useful, like restoring stamina, reducing cost. Major expedition's not that useful. You can source it elsewhere, but I don't know. Maybe it sees niche use in PvP. Once again, I don't really know PvP, so. Monomyth Reforged. While in combat on your primary weapon, gain Major Force, Minor Berserk, and Minor Vulnerability. Okay. While in combat and on your secondary weapon, gain Major Protection, Minor Vitality, and Minor Timidity. Okay. That looks like it could be really interesting. Because it essentially allows you to completely ignore the need for major force from like horns and stuff. You do have to give up you have to give up velocity for it, so I don't think it's gonna be good, but it is a possible option. Could maybe see you running this in groups where major force uptimes aren't great and minor berserk uptimes aren't great because it gives you minor berserk as well. The minor vulnerability on you isn't great. Hope if you're doing it in PvE, it's not too much of an issue because you're hopefully just not going to be taking much damage as is. Where this might actually be really good though is in PvP, because in PvP this is 20% crit damage, 5% extra damage on your front bar, and then 10% reduced damage and extra healing and shielding on your back bar, which is stuff that you already do in PvP. So this could be really good for PvP. Collectibles, tiara for completing a quest, war tattoos from Alliance researchers, mementos. This is the Heart's Grief. Well, this is the what's its face, the trifecta mount. So the trifecta achievement is called Worth the Pain. That means we can also look back and see what the title is. Sister Breaker is obtained from. Okay, that's interesting. Maybe it's Misery's Master, is it? I don't know. Either of those is interesting. Base game. Furnishing Vault. So that's going to be really good for ESO Plus members. So if you don't know, they announced this. Essentially, it is a craft bag for your furnishings. It stacks up to 1,000 times. It stacks into the thousands, so it can be more than that. Basically, it's just puts furnishing items in their own unique storage, so they're not clogging up other room. You can't store gemmable furnishes, stolen furnishes, or Grandmaster craft. Of course, you can't store Grandmaster crafting stations. There is the Hero's Return thing, 3 parts. You'll join. You will also remind some of the key components. Welcome back screen gives you some rewards. That includes the Hero's Return experience scroll that also removes way shrine costs for a short time. Oh, that's really cool. That's really useful, actually. And you get a golden pursuit. Okay, that's interesting. I kind of quite like that. Map improvements, clearer tooltips, and improved my silver behavior. Improved quest visibility. Updated the quest area color for better contrast when areas are exploited. Okay, that's nice. Just kind of basic stuff. Made the show on map feature in the journal more noticeable as you take on quests. Okay. When you obtain Master It, they will start in an unopened envelope called Unknown Crafting Brick. Okay, so it's essentially these have been. You can now stack Master It's. That's really useful. It'll only be new ones though. Housing UI retrieve. Okay, so you can send stuff to different places. UI has been updated. We'll have a look at that when we log on. Console add-ons. They'll be able to download add-ons. That good for very good for that's going to be really nice for console players. Subclassing, we already knew this was coming. It'll be really interesting to see. Okay, so small quest to unlock. You can get up to 2 other skill lines. You can only have 1 for you can't have 2 from another class. So you'd have to be their example you use here. You can be a Dragon with 1 Templar skill line and another class skill line, or be a Dragon with 2 Dragon skill lines and 1 Templar skill line. If you wanted 2 Templar skill lines, you would have to play as a Templar. Skill lines share progression across your entire account. It will work with armory builds. Let's see what the changes are. There's new homes, so I think these were in this previewed in the stream. But there is an inn room. There is the Grand Adventure one, and then there is the Theater of Ancestors Crown exclusive one. Bunch of new furnishings for template. So there is a maximum level 1. There is a subclassing template. Okay, known issues. I'm going to scroll past that. Okay, so this is where it's going to get really interesting, because this is where we are looking at the combat changes. So, update the rules for reaching the combat element. Reaching 10 summons or corpses of summons would prevent the summoning further pets, regardless of their source or type. This is most likely experienced case in a number of harmonies, such as Banner Bearer, Grav. Oh, they fixed the Blast Bones bug. So this was an issue when you were parsing, where if you would get to a point where you just couldn't cast Blast Bones for some reason, like you'd try and press it and it just wouldn't go off. When attempting to create a new summon, the new oldest one will despawn. That's really useful. Okay, so essentially this is the limitation will be 5 in PvP. Ugh. Okay, so you can't do like a full pet build in PvP then, because you won't have enough things for it. Sacrificial bones in its morphs corpses now persist for 5 seconds, down from 6. Lasts for 5 seconds, down from 10. That's actually kind of a nerf, in a way. I don't think it will be relevant, but, you know. these now suppress sneak invisibility, so all variants of Banner Bearer, Frozen Gate, Bone Goliath, and Scorch. That's probably going to be these are gonna remove sneaking, so Magma Shell, Radial Sweep, Sleet Storm, Earth Storm, Panacea, Cauterize, and Spearmender. And these will remove invisibility when you successfully hit a target. Okay. When successfully transitioning from detected to hidden after crouching, this effect state Sneak is now visible on your effect bar. Sneak can be hovered over in the character sheet to read what the effect does, rather than using the Help tab. It's a nice, like, sources of cost reduction. Wait. Let's go back up a second. Sources of cost reduction that grant a flat amount will no longer work with abilities that drain their cost multiple times over their activation, such as that's really big because there was a it so there is a thing you can do. You used to be able to use this to get essentially a heal over time AoE on the ground on Dragon Knight as a tank that just stayed there forever and cost you like no resources. Well, it didn't stay there forever. It lasted for 18 seconds, but it cost no resources. And you used to use it in Cloud Rest to stop ads going through the portal, but that's now going to cost resources again. Um, that's actually a really interesting nerf. Okay, this is where it's going to get interesting. Okay, Dragon Knight increases damage from burning poison by 1633% and restores 211 423 when they're applied, down from 20 to 40%. So that is a straight up nerf for Dragon Knight. This passive now causes direct damage to increase the damage an enemy. Okay. This now causes direct damage from Ardent Flame abilities to increase the damage an enemy takes from your damage over time attacks by 3 to 6%, 3 or 6%, reduce their movement speed instead of only reducing their movement speed. Okay, that's really okay. So this is bad. This is a nerf. This is a nerf to both DD and to tank DK. This is a massive nerf to tank DK sustain because you used to be able to rely on burning and poison to essentially give yourself a shit ton of resources. So you could use elemental susceptibility, and it would proc every 7.5 seconds, and you'd get like 1,000 magic and stamina back. That's gone, or I say it's gone. It's now down to 423, which is a big loss. And then obviously there is a big damage nerf here, but now your direct damage from Ardent Flame increases your damage over time, which Dragon Knight already had a lot of. So that might actually balance it out. In fact, I think this will actually make Dragon Knight deal more damage. Dragon Leap, this will it'll give you critical control immunity. This versus it's some weird CC immunity thing. This Burning Heart, this plasma increases your healing receive whilst a draconic power ability is active by 49% down from why? Scaled armor got a wow, that is a big buff to scaled armor right there. That's a lot of extra armor. The healing going down is not great. The health recovery is up. I don't think anybody really cared about the health recovery, I'm going to be completely honest. Stone Giant, this morph stacks will now be properly removed when using the ability. What? Anyway, for the Draconic Power ones, something about CC, that's a PvP thing. Burning Heart, that's just a straight healing nerf for if you're playing DK. Big armor increase there. I don't think it will actually make too much difference to DK tanks, because what you might see is more people going and picking up the Draconic Power just for that, for with subclassing. But I don't think it makes too much of a difference actually. It's gonna be big in PvP though. because that's like an extra, well, nearly 1300 armor. That's really big. And then the health recovery is nice, I guess, but I don't think anybody really cared about the health recovery from that passive. I don't know what this means, so we'll see. Uh, Magma armor. This ultimate magma shell now also disables. Okay, so you can't do infinite magma shell anymore. Well, there goes any chance of beating an infinite archive record, because you can't infinite magma shell, so anything past like arc 20 will just instantly kill you. They've nerfed battle rower, so it's about not a third, like, okay, down from 1837, down from 2550. So they've just nerfed Dragon Knight sustain across the board between that and the burning and poisoned. So playing a DK for sustain is just not going to be fun. Puncturing Strikes. This ability in its morphs now deals 6 damage to the 6 closest enemies rather than having no target. They no longer deal normal damage to the closest enemy, they now deal full damage. Ooh! Wow. Okay. So Templar just went from having, like, very little cleave to having an amazing amount of cleave with this one ability. Because before it was kind of like you didn't know which target was going to get all the damage. Now it's just 6 closest enemies all get full damage. That's really good. That's really good news for Templars. Puncturing Screeps. Reduce the healing done by this to 25%, damage down to 33%. Less healing against one enemy, but almost the same against two, and greatly increased to 3. That's really nice, actually. Okay, so I guess this makes sense. This is basically just to counteract the you getting way more healing from this. I don't think that's going to make too much of a difference. Okay, so Biting Jabs now has an increased chance per hit to apply Sundered, 10% per enemy rather than 3% to apply Sundered rather than increasing damage. That's really good. Templar already gets a lot of Sundered from having Power of the Light, but this is really nice. So you hit 4 times with it. So, well, that's a. Let me do a quick maths. 9 part 4. So you've got about every time you use the ability, you have about a 35% chance to apply Sundered, not including any increases to your stat spec chances. Templar got big buff with all that. Burning Light, this passive now scales off 25. Which one was Burning Light again? Okay, it's that one. It's, okay, so Burning Light scales higher. That's good. It doesn't scale off your max match and stam anymore, but it does scale higher with your weapon spell damage, so it's kind of whatever. Increased status effect chance again, though, so that's magic damage. Yeah. So that means we get more overloaded. No, is overload? Whatever the magic status effect is, it's just more damage. Grants Mind Berserk and Mind Protection for 6 seconds after activating Adric Spear ability rather than only Mind Protection. That's really good. Piercing Spear. Buffs his task to increase critical damage and damage from blocking players to 6%, 12%. That's really nice. It's not too big a deal, but it means that generally you'll have higher crit damage. It's only 2%, but every little helps. Spear Shards increase the damage to this resistor and the Luminous Shard to make up for the 1 second delay. Luminous Shards now also allows the casters to be eligible for their own synergy. decrease the damage from the initial hit by 23%, increase the damage over time effect by 53%. This will result in 10% damage increase for the entire ability if enemies remain inside your area. So that's a damage buff, assuming they stay inside it, which I guess is... I mean, it means you can't use it as a spammable and trash, but it means Templars just generally dealing more damage with all of these changes. So even if you're just going Bobo Plargans, you ignore the the puncturing strike changes, you still get the burning light increase, you're still getting extra crit damage, and now this is doing 10% more damage. Dawn's Wrath. Backlash, final hit this ability is morph, no longer misses some enemies. Whoa. Okay. Increase this ability can be time this ability can be channeled up to 4.8 seconds, up from 1.8. Reduce the need to constantly activate the skill. This ability and its morphs now cost 1157 magicka per tick rather than having upfront cost of 2950, which is less overall magicka per second. Although it depends. Oh no, how many ticks is there? Increase the damage per tick of this ability and it's morphed by 12%. So it's increased damage. Adjust the execute ceiling to start at 30% health. And gaining up to 500% bonus damage rather than starting at 50% and going up to 480. So no longer... Okay. There, it's dodgeable. Okay, and then Radiant... So it's dodgeable, but it still scales up to 500%, but the execute starts later, but it has more damage. So I think overall it probably does less damage. Holy... These are some interesting changes. Radiant Glory. This morph now reduces the base cost to 771 per tick. And increase the healing done at the damage done per tick. So, okay, so it heals more and it costs less instead of restoring magicka, so it's essentially the same thing. Radiant Impression now, the execute ceilings begin at 39% rather than increasing the damage. I think this has been nerfed because if they haven't changed the Necromancer ability, then you could use that to buff this. This is a fairly substantial nerf, though. I think... Oh, so for Radiant Impression, before it was you started casting it at 40%, when it was at 50%, so now it will be at 39 times 8, 31%, and for the other morph, it will be 24%. So it's actually more. So it becomes more of an actual execute in that you're not casting it from 40%. So the Radiant Glory, you're casting it at 25%, give or take, and Radiant Impression, you're casting it at about 31%. Healing Ritual no longer ignores line of sight. I think that will be interesting for PvP. Increases all of your healing done up to 13% based on your target's missing health rather than only increasing your restoring light. That's really good. Because it's a buff and it's also just everything is restoring more health. I wonder if you take this as a tomb healer in Sunspire now, if you're struggling. Lightweaver causes you to ultimately block all attacks for 2 seconds when you start any channel or cast time up to once. So it doesn't... So you just block all attacks for 2 seconds when you start any channel or cast time ability? Okay, so this is basically you block everything when you're at the start of Radiant Repression. Okay, nice. Master Assassin now increases your critical chance instead of increasing your... Okay, so Nightblade just lost their penetration passive, but they get extra crit chance when they're flanking. Um, that's nice. Is that nice? I mean, it means that you can't like rely on that to run 7 medium. Although I guess if you're in Velothi anyway. Uh, the crit chance from the assassination abilities have been buffed. That's good. Oh, Grim Focus change. This ability in its morph can now stack to decrease the weapon spell damage granted per stack by 25% on all abilities now that their maximum stack count has increased. So do you still? Oh, okay. So you can like you still cast it with 5, but you can cast it twice if you get to 10 essentially. So it removes 5 stacks, and you get so instead of going up to 300, so for the base morph, it'll go up to 450. So um that's a fairly big. And then the relentless focus, it goes from 400 to 600. So that's a 50% increase in the weapon spell damage. I wonder if it's better now to just not cast this and you just have it on your bar to get like an extra 450 or an extra 800 600 weapon and spell damage, and the crit bonus as well. Dark Vigor increased the maximum health from this passive to 2 to 5% per shadow blade slotted, up from 2 to 3%. Catalyst increases the amount of alt this passive grants to 15 to 30. Okay, so that's an extra 10 alt per potion use. Magical Flood, this passive now increases your max match and stand by 3 to 6. Rather, okay, so that's a nerf to the maximum. Oh, but it increases your stamina as well. So that's actually a buff for Stanblade and a nerf for Mageblade. Because on Stanblade, you're now getting 6% extra from having a siphoning ability slotted. Um, Reduce the rank 1 passive, that's fine. Nobody ever is going to care about the rank 1. But that's a. So Nightblade got a lot of buffs, actually. The only real nerf was for Mage. I mean, I guess this is a nerf if you're casting it on a cooldown, but the Master Assassin thing is a buff. Pressure Points is a buff. Catalyst and Magical Flood are both buffs. The Dark Figure is a buff, technically, but not one that any DD will care about. Yeah, Nightblade got a lot of buffs. That also, this skill line is going to be really good now for taking it. Okay, Sorcerer. Oh, okay, we're removing the separation of pet versus no pet builds in the skill line now that subclassing is here. Conjureborn Hardwall no longer heal you if you do not have any pack. No longer heal you if you do not have any pets. Okay, so no longer heal you if you do not have any pets active, so they just don't heal you. Regenerative Ward now heals you if you have a pet active. So the Sword Shield no longer heals you now. It's just a shield, unless you have a pet active, in which case you have Regenerative Ward. Uh, Daedric Prey increases damage your sorcerer pet steal to the target by 50%. So this is something we probably saw coming because it means you can't make an uber pet build. Because you could have like 4 or 5 pets out at once. Technically a buff for sorcerer, but realistically, no one's going to be doing a pet build now because Daedric Prey just doesn't work with it. I mean, I guess you still could, just that there's the synergy's no longer there. Increased magic and stam from rebate. That's nice. Uh, Reduce your damage taken by 2 to 5%. so the recovery bonus have been merchant storm calling, but essentially reduce your damage taken while you have a Daedric summon ability active, so Sork just takes less damage. Increase max health, mag, and stam by 2 to 5% if you're permanent pet active instead of. So this is a buff for Pet Sorg in terms of damage because you're actually getting the max mag and stam. But it is a. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so bound armament stacks up to 8 times, so it's less punishing to fit it into the crystal weapon rotation, but it only shoots 4, so it's the same change as um it's the same change as the Nightblade one, except this one doesn't have any benefits of giving you extra weapon and spell damage. And it deals less damage, so this is actually a nerf if you're good at knowing when to proc bound armaments. That's really nice. So Crystal Frags, the passive persists, so it both bars can trigger the instant cast. That's really good. That's just a buff. Um, Persistence. This passive now reduces the cost of your next health, magic, or stamina ability after blocking. So that's just a buff and reduce the cost of your next ability. Hurricane, and no longer the last tick no longer loses the ramping damage bonus. I didn't know that was a thing, but that's good. Mage's Fury, the execute has gone down. Term 4 seconds to 2. Not big in PvE because nobody was using it. Big in PvP, I imagine. Capacitor now increases your recovery by 17,141. The Expert Mage increases it by a flat amount instead of a percentage. I don't know if that's a buff. I will leave that to someone with more knowledge of the actual numbers behind it. I imagine this is a nerf. What do I think about Caspian's True Signet? I Oh, this one. I think it's essentially a I think it is a direct damage version of Azurblight. Um I don't think it will be so it won't be any I say that it won't be any good for trash because it takes 6 seconds for it to proc. It will be good in multi-target boss fights. So think Reef Guardian. I don't know if it'll be good. I think it's a decent replacement for those. For Azurblight. I haven't gotten to the set changes yet, but I think it could actually. It sounds no. It'll be. That's actually what I was gonna say. It'll be really good for Necro because it'll proc off of Blast Bones. It'll proc off of Corpse Buster. It'll proc off of Detonating Siphon. So basically all the stuff that Crow's already doing. So I could see you running this on Crow along with Corpse Buster for AoE fights and having a great time, and you no longer have to spec into having all the dot abilities. Um, but yeah, I don't know if it'll be better than Azurblight currently is the only thing. But I also we might have Azurblight changes in this, and by that I mean I know we have Azurblight changes in this. I just haven't gone to them yet because I'm taking my time. Warden. Increase the healing from this to so increased healing, good. Increase the magic recovery, good. Increase the crit damage up to 5% per ability slotted. Oh, that's a lot of a bigger change than it looks because you're usually having 3 abilities. So that means that on Warden, if you have 3 abilities slotted that are all Animal Companion, you're getting 15% crit damage. That's quite a lot. Increase the magic or stamina record. Okay, that's a buff. Increase the healing done by green balance abilities. So that's a very big buff. I think some people will complain about the new Ring Mythic. Wait, which one's the new Ring Mythic? Oh god. Um, there it is. Oh, that one. I think it'll be used in PvP. I don't think it'll actually be good in PvE because I don't think there's enough reason to. You think people are gonna complain because it refers to which one is primary and which one is secondary? No, they've already done that with other sets. They did that with Also, I should really 1 second. I'm gonna. How do I copy? Can I? Okay. People will complain. I think the complaints are unfounded because they've already done it before with other things. Um, Also, I actually have a chat box on the screen, so when I put this on YouTube, it's not going to look like I'm just talking to myself. Increased healing, increased crit damage, increased healing, decrease the healing done from fully charged heavy attacks, and to be 2.3 times stronger than rather than 3 times stronger. Um, okay, I don't think anyone was using Lotus Flower in PvE. I am very skeptical on subclassing. It is going to remove a lot of class identity. I think some of the changes I've seen already are going to help with it a little. I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference. I think the Templar change was needed anyway. I think Templar's Execute is just way too strong as is. Um, and especially with subclassing, it was going to just be busted. I think it's still going to be good though, if the Necro, depending on how they change the Necromancer skill lines. Reduce the damage tick of Northern Storm. Now grants 2% damage done per stack rather than 50 weapon and spell damage. Increase the duration of the stacks to 12 seconds, up from 5, resulting in total duration of 20 seconds. No one was using this. Frozen Gate buff. No, subclassing is base game. So it will be, everyone will have it. Scribing is also becoming base game. From U46. Glacial Presence increased the chance of applying chilled status effects up, and adjust the scaling down to 10.55 and 1% of your mouth. Okay, so this is a buff because of the chilled status effect. Increased frozen armor, that's a buff. This passive causes attackers and melee range to receive a stack of Winter's Bite. Attackers at 5 stacks are afflicted with a major maim. This passive no longer reduces the effectiveness of snares against you by 750. So this is essentially just major maim to, if you're a tank in to your target in PvE. I guess it's good for PvP as well, but this is okay. So this increases your frost damage by 5 to 10% and the amount of damage you can block by 4 to 8%. So it no longer does it based on your max health. It is overall damage decrease because it's only affecting frost damage. And it is the summon changes is, I think it's good that they fixed the blast bones issue. I'm not surprised they changed Age of Prey to only affect sorcerer pets. But that also is quite a big nerf to any sorcerer who was running Aegis Collar. Um but yeah, I haven't gotten to the necro changes if there's any for blast bones. This is actually, so this piercing cold thing is actually a nerf overall for damage because it is, yeah, you're it's only affecting frost damage. But yeah. Flame skill will now generate a corpse on their third cast. Wasn't that was so Ricochet skill is just hitting other people and Venom skill is just dealing increased damage now. Gravelord Sacrifice no longer. Gravelord Sacrifice can no longer generates because it is. They didn't change Gravelord Sacrifice though, which means that it still affects all class abilities. That's really bad. That you just put Gravelord Sacrifice on every single character. No, because why wouldn't you? Oh. Death Knell increases your critical chance by 10 to 20% against targets under 33% if you have Gravelord ability slotted rather than 5 to 10% per Gravelord ability. So you can't hit like stupid high crit chance on everything now with just by slotting necro skills, but the damage, but like having one. Yeah, Gravelord Sacrifice is just like auto take on every class now because it increases all class damage. Like it's like 15% or something. And it's also all dot damage. So if your spammable is a class skill, uh, then you just all of your damage is buffed by 15%. That's huge. Um, Death Knell. This is a nerf for Necro and a buff for everything else because you just slot Colossus on every class now to get an extra 20% crit chance. Uh, reduces cost up. That's good. Um, massive penetration buff when you have a Gravelord ability active. Oh my god, that's ridiculous. So between this and Arcanist and having like Velothi, you just never have to run Alkoshnar. You just don't have to run Alkoshnar. Oh my god. If you're running Arcanist, you have 991 from each Arcanist skill, so that's just shy of 2,000 from the two Arcanist skills, and then you have 3,200. So you have about 5,000 just from those two, and then you run Velothi, and you're at pen cap. You just don't run Alkosh now. Okay. Maybe the Alkosh synergy set is rubbish because you just don't have to run Alkosh now if you have a single Gravelord ability active, which you always will because everyone's running Gravelord Sacrifice. What are they thinking? Uh, Bone Armor will not create an unconsumable corpse if you're not on combat. So this is just so to this unconsumable corpse thing is just for server reasons. Uh, Empowering Grasp now improves minor aim to major aim. Rather increasing against enemies, rather increasing your summoned creature's damage by 1,000. I didn't know anybody was using that. Increase to healing taken. That's good. Oh my god, there's everything's getting buffed this patch. Literally, I don't think I've seen a single nerf so far that I've been like, wow, that's a massive nerf, except for the Templar one, which probably isn't even that big a nerf when you combine everything else into it. Last Gasp, this passive, that's a buff, that's just straight up an extra 1,000 health. Curative Curse is like just extra healing. Um, Okay, so they've nerfed the crit chance with healing based on targets missing health down from. That wasn't that important though, because you didn't want to rely on crit chance for your healing. So this is actually not that big a deal. And then they've nerfed the sustain. Okay, but Necromancer wasn't worried about sustain anyway. Um. Whoa. Holy. Okay, Fate Carver has increased the cost of this ability and its morphs by 40%. That's huge. Increase the damage of this ability and its morphs by 8%. So it's got a buff. So it's got an 8% damage buff. It can only hit 6 targets now, though. I also have just looked at the next line, and yeah, we're never running Alkosh again, are we? Uh, increase your offensive penetration by... So that's effectively a 600 penetration buff. So 24, you have 2400 from this, and then you have 3200 from Gravelord. So yeah, you just don't need to. You don't run. Oh my god! And because of the Fate Carver change, quite likely you actually possibly stop running Coral. In which case you run Ansel instead, so you get another pen line. Uh, increase your weapon spell damage by that. That's probably a nerf, I imagine. Wait, Arcanist Domain. This ability's and its morphs minor buff now properly adhered here to the standard 6 target cap. So it doesn't hit all 12 people? Does it smart target? Like if you have does it do 6 people then 6 people? This is really bad. Healing Tides got buffed because for some reason. Hideous Clarity restores both for some reason. Uh, Arcanist gets an extra 1,200 armor. Okay, but they did nerf, well, okay, they did nerf the sustain from Soldier of Apocrypha. That kind of makes sense. That was a bit busted. Like, you basically took, if you were playing Arcanist tank, you took the Soldier of Apocrypha ult because it gave you more magic recovery than, like, just taking Barrier. I think it still might be worth, but yeah. Uh, that's not a change. That's not a change. Shatter Soul is now considered channeled or direct damage in all cases. Okay. The amount of damage and visual effects are now okay. Okay, so increase the cost of all damaging. So Upso's contingency increase the cost of all damaging versions of this ability up to 3780. So that's a nerf. Increase the cost of the damage shield. Ooh, up 4860 from 3510. That's big. Fix an issue where they were not properly Okay, so that's just a nerf overall to Oversealed, but like Oversealed wasn't being used that much to be honest. At least from a DD. It's being used in like dungeons and stuff, and it's nice to have, but it wasn't like required. Bleed scripts now properly interact with Droskars. Class mastery is updated. Consumables, many issues have been fixed. Food and drink now displays proper amount of resources. Mind protection 3 trait match for crap poisons. Resource bar is no longer reset. Hindering potions can be used while you're immune to steroids or mobilizations. Princess's Delight now shown. Okay, that's just a lot of changes. This set now increases the amount of damage you block by 14% from 8%. Nobody will use it. Hylian Senna, losing stacks in this set no longer forces you to dismount. Additionally, okay, that's fine. They killed Azurblight! A set now requires 20 additional stacks of Blight Seed for each group member wearing this set. They killed Azurblight. They finally did it. Thank fuck. Okay. Yeah, one person can wear it again, maybe two, but like fucking finally. It's no longer have to take. But also this is going to absolutely reduce the amount of people that can clear stuff like DSR and Lucent Citadel, because Azurblight, it was basically the best set in both of those for certain fights. This plus the Magma Shell change is going to massively reduce the clear rate of Reef Guardian hard mode, because you don't have the Azurblight damage now, and you don't have Magma Shell. So you have to have a really good tank and a lot more damage, which admittedly you do get from the rest of this patch. So Noxious Boulder was fixed. None of these are particularly important. None of these are particularly important. Oh, Null Arca buff. Okay. Increase the damage of the set by 8%, reduce the cooldown after activates to 4 seconds down from 5. That's massive. Whoa. Kyne's Wind? What did Kyne's Wind do? Kyne's Wind. Yeah. It was a sustain buff set. Okay. Null Arca getting buffed is really nice. Kyne's Wind, there's nobody was going to use this anyway. And then a bunch of other stuff. I don't think any of this is... Oh my god. Some of this is insane, though. Right, I have enough time before Prague to log out. Is the PTS actually up? Okay, it is up. Okay. I'm going to take a quick break, and then we're going to log on to PTS and play around quickly and see what subclassing looks like. Okay. Mic audio is working. Is game audio working? Maybe I just don't have audio turned on. Subclassing. Where are we? Dark Elf. Arcanist. Tev. Test Arc. Let's see if this is a max level one, because if not, we'll need to make a max level one. Or if this is just to like start the quest line. Whoa, look at the new... Okay, let's have a look at this. Okay, so I'm 3600. I don't have a Mundus. That's fine. Oh, okay. Let's have a look at the items first. Okay, so Death Dancer. 1528? That's actually not half bad. It's not going to be a good set, but that's a really interesting set. Dollars Arena. So this is the heavy set. 1843 for 2 seconds. So this is could actually replace this could actually replace what's the space? Alkosh completely, theoretically. But you won't need it anymore because we already have so much sustain. Heavy armor, foot buff, block mitigation increased by a block cost. Nobody's gonna use it. This is the healer set. No, this isn't. This is the light armor set. While combat, activating synergy grants you a stack of harmonize for 10 seconds up to 5 stacks max. You can gain 1 stack every 0.5 seconds, increase your weapon spell damage by 86. That's not going to be used because that is 430 weapon spell damage. That is less than just using Coral. In fact, that might be less than just using that might be the same as using like Yandir's Might, and Yandir's has an easier activation. 992 increased by 33%. Mythics, let's have a look at the mythics. Mad God's Dancing Shoes. Those are decent tooltips, actually, but it's still not going to be good in PvE. This is the one that we knew about. What's this one? 431 magic or stamina's actually not too bad, to be honest. I think this might see use by beginner tanks, is where I can maybe see it being useful. But I don't think outside that it will be used. Where were we still looking at these? No, that's the collectibles. Here we are, item sets. These are the perfect ones. Harmony Chaos. That's the harmonized one. That's the... Okay. After overhealing 100,000 health, your energy maxes out, granting you convergence release when you activate it. To store 6k, 7k, Magic, that's not going to be used. I don't even know if that gets used in PvP, because it's only once every, like, 30 seconds. There's no situation where you need to restore all those resources. That's the non-perfected. Grants 1 magic recovery for every 100 max magic you have. Eh. Increase your direct damage done to... That's actually quite good. 12% damage done to monsters is nothing to sneeze at. That's nearly having an extra velocity. Even if you only have 50%, this is the same. This is nearly, even if you only have 50% of your damage is direct damage, this is nearly the same as having Ansel on. It's actually quite good. I think that might actually see use on in some builds. I'm really surprised at that value. That's really interesting. Okay, how do I do subclassing? Study and discipline. Where is the person for the study and discipline? Can I access from the current store? I do have the level 50 heroes achievement, don't I? My character is level 50. I really like the new UI, actually. One character on your account has reached level 50. What the... Oh. I'm level 50. This character is level 50, isn't it? Do I have to, like, delete my... What? Why can I not access it? Do I just delete this character? Okay, let's try now. Maybe if I... Maybe if I go kill, like, one thing, it'll work. Because I'll get experience. Why is everything level 1? Okay, maybe I... Okay, I think I need to do a... I need to do the other thing. Max level. Dark Elf, Arcanist, Tav Test, Arc 2. Okay, now I can do subclassing. Okay, let's get this quest done quickly. Uh, no, I don't want to. I don't want to talk to you. I want to do my subclassing. Okay, so let's equip Necromancer, Gravelord, swap out Soldier of Apocrypha, and swap out Dawn's Wrath for Curative Rune Forms. Okay. Then that, that, that. This also. Let's go for the cheap one for now, just so we can see what the oh, it is. It is for all class abilities. Oh my god, this is gonna be so busted. We want Gravelord Sacrifice and Colossus. Okay, so I think the bar will look a little like this. That can go back bar now. Blockade, that can go there. That. Can move that back there for now. No, because we want Stolen Barrage there. We need that. We need Languid Eye back here. And we need Quick Cloak. And then we need Banner Bearer. Okay, let's quickly change the controls up. Okay, alt's still the right thing. Let's buy a house. Let's buy a big house. Sure, let's get the Theatre of the Ancestors. We're gonna go for a really basic build, just because I don't know what sustain is gonna be like, and I think damage is still gonna be better. Okay, no. Housing editor. Browse. Let's get a Crafting station. How do I... Okay, Mundustone first. Thief. Confirm. Place. Let's be that there. Trial dummy. Purchase. Place it. How do I... That's there. I need scribing altar. And a... Oh, what else do I need? I've got... Okay, I think that's it. Oh, I need the paintings. Okay, no, that's way too small. Okay. Is it? Probably should have chosen another house. This one's, like, weird. Does that work? Okay, that does work. Scribing. Oh, I have to do the... Ugh, okay. Ultimate crafters. I need the... scribing one. No, that's not it. Where's the scribing one? Treasure maps. That's master stuff. Tester's lunchbox. We'll take out a... We want blue food. Want that one. Oh, I'm not gonna have time before Prague. No, that's crafting motifs. There he is. Okay. Banner bearer. Flame. Class. Paladin sorcery. That's the wrong one. It's Savagery and Prophecy I want. And then I want Armor, Jewelry, and Weapons. Want monster sets. Want mythics. And I want crafted sets. And I want trial sets. Let's get the slime crawl first. Slime crawl. And I want medium head. One in divines. Then I want mythic Necron, Velothi, that, crafted sets, DLC crafted sets, Gold Coast, is it? No, it's Gold Road. And I want medium armor. Then I want trial sets, medium trial sets, and perfected Ansel's Torment. I want the shoulders. Not that. This. I'm gonna have to log off though. And get ready for prog. No. Hello.
So let's see how it goes today.
We got this. Trust.
Yeah. But even if we got it, we have to do it again for Lena. So. But yeah. We'll see.
I've been playing around on the PTS and looking through the patch notes.
Oh, okay, how it is?
There's some interesting stuff.
I think. Tell me if I'm wrong, but like, DPS will go up.
Yes.
Like by quite a large margin if they leave everything.
Uh,
Like it dries out, but like.
Yeah. So they essentially like nothing got big. A lot of it was buffs except for Templar Beam, which got
Yeah.
nerfed. But I think
Really?
yeah. So the
By how much?
um quite a lot for the one which is actually used in content. So they basically changed it so that the execute threshold starts at 30% instead of
Okay.
50%. It scales
Mm-hmm.
up to 500% always now, but
Okay.
and then the damage one
Mm-hmm.
scales to starts at 39% now instead of 30%. So like you start beaming later, basically.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
But still, like, if I
but
think it,
everything else
I
got
think about what
everything else got
most
buffed.
yeah. But
Like
think about like most executed are really like where you need the Templar beam,
yeah,
like Sanity's Edge, for example.
I think
I mean, it wouldn't matter because like the execute still starts at around 20%. So,
yeah.
you know,
Um,
like, so I think even if they nerf it like that, it,
Also, the most important one is that Gravelord's Sacrifice hasn't been changed, which means you get
yeah,
15% buff
okay.
to
So still with
all of
the
your
nerf
class
to the
damage.
beam, you
Basically, I
beam
think
with,
yeah,
yeah.
they increased the cost of they did increase the cost of Fate Carver by 40%,
What?
but they increased the damage by 8%.
Okay.
And they changed how
Yeah, but I mean, you would have to build a bit more to for sustain, but yeah, I don't know.
yeah. Also my game is just frozen. So
You still got plenty of time to fix it, so don't. Right?
Hi.
Have
yeah.
Neonko is asking if he needs to replace anyone today because he's so like confused about his 1,000 procs that he doesn't know when to run with.
I don't think he needs to replace me.
No, no. I mean, he didn't write me, but yeah.
I wanted to ask if you have like also markers for Falkraven and or if you are using the
Um,
quadrular markers there. I saw your Elms markers. I'm just asking
ja.
specifically for Falkraven.
Die Markers, wir können das auch kurz auf Deutsch, die
Ja.
Marker funktionieren auch bei Firedraven. Ich glaube, also ich konnte es nicht testen auf der zweiten Ebene, weil ich habe die erst letzte Woche bekommen.
Ja,
Ich konnte es
okay,
nur für
okay.
erste und letzte Ebene testen. Auf
Mhm.
beiden sind die Marker da. Ob sie jetzt in der zweiten sind, weiß ich nicht, aber ansonsten nehmen wir die normal von, ich glaube, was ist das?
Ja, ich
Ja,
BSC Kühnes Helper oder wie das Ding heißt.
genau, ja.
Guck grad. Ja, die hatte ich nämlich extra ausgemacht. Dann muss ich die ja nochmal anmachen im Zweifelsfall. Und hoffen, dass die dann also von den Zahlen her identisch sind.
Ja, ja, sollte eigentlich. Also sehen wir. Also wir sind sowieso noch beim Resetten, also
Ja, ja,
alles gut.
alles gut. Ich mache sie jetzt erstmal an und dann
Ja.
gucken wir mal. Gut.
So, I mean it's still early, so.
Uh,
Why is Hodor not working for me?
You
Was there any update?
yeah.
Again?
Like from last week?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
There, I think for me there was a new
Let me check it.
dependency. Some people said that they already had that, but
No, I don't have any updates. Like, I got the newest version, but
Uh,
still it doesn't.
search for it in your uninstalled ones because I had to like reinstall it without
Hodor.
uninstalling it. Yeah.
Minion isn't starting. I hate this game.
no, you don't.
No, Minion doesn't want to run. Great. I really love this. Something is always bugged. So you said I should search in the uninstalled ones?
Yeah. That's what I had to do.
But it's still installed.
Oh, okay. Then it's I don't know then.
I'm just
Did you check
confused.
your add-on in game? Because, like I said, for me it was another dependency I had to
Okay,
download.
yeah, wait. Order. Ah, you're right. There's a dependency.
Okay.
Okay, that explains it. Lib group combat stats. Okay, good. Checking that on. So then I have to do a reload. And it's just great if everything doesn't work. Yeah, Hodor is back. That's nice. Right?
Guten Abend.
Hey.
Hey, Cyber. You missed out. We were
Gab's
on the
irgendwas
PTS
Besonderes
looking
heute?
at stuff.
Hm?
I looked through all the patch
Nee,
notes.
also
You missed out. It was great. Basically everything got buffed except for Templar Beam, which got nerfed. I might go back on the PTS app. I didn't manage to fully get set up for a parse, but I might go back on PTS after this and have a look. But I did go through all the patch notes, so you missed out on that. I'll post it in a video later. But yeah. They nerfed the sustain on the arc beam, but it now deals 8% more damage. I think Batter Bearer is out the window now, basically, because I think they also changed how the sustain works on it. But it was a stealth nerf. I don't think they actually mentioned it in the patch notes. But yeah. I think if you can sustain it, Fake Harbor is still going to be great. But I think they've nerfed Banner Bearer. The limiting to 6 targets doesn't matter. Like, realistically, in how many scenarios did you actually have, like, more than 6 targets? Like, maybe some trash pools, but the small stuff basically dies and then you've just got the main things. And with the, like, damage increase, it's not going to make a difference. Like, even in this trial, right? I think the most trash we have at once is maybe, like, 9, and definitely a lot of those are small ads. But no, I'm definitely going to log on to PTS after this and try some parses with Arc, Plar, Crow, whatever you want to call it. Unfortunately, all the sets look garbage. There was like some interesting ones, but I don't think any of them are going to be actually good, which is really sad. But we'll see. We'll see. But for now, Keins Aegis, Dawnbringer, German to Prague.
Weil +3 schon relativ glatt laufen muss, um das überhaupt hinzukriegen. Und dann kannst du das Greifenherz noch mitnehmen.
Ja, da muss man immer nur Glück haben, dass nicht irgendwie die
Ja.
dumme Scheiße noch passiert.
Ja, das hast du aber, also ja nicht nur da, ne?
Ja, das ist richtig.
Aber es ist nicht so schlimm, finde ich, weil man besser resetten kann.
Ja, das ist
Es ist dasselbe mit AS. Also hier jetzt, wenn wir jetzt hier irgendwie einen dämlichen Tod irgendwo in der vorletzten Trashgruppe oder so haben, dann RIP.
Ja, deshalb ist GS mit Abstand der schlimmste Trifector gewesen, finde ich, ganz ehrlich. Einfach wegen
Ja,
Trash
abgesehen
und
von
Laufwege.
den, ja,
Trash
von
und
den
Laufwege
neueren.
machen das Ding zum Kotten.
Ja.
Also wir hatten in einer anderen Gruppe auch im DB, das war auch gefühlt sowas von unlucky. Letzte Plattform, also wirklich ganz unten bei Falkraven und dann ohne Witz 0,1%. Hi, stirbt noch jemand.
Sakuro, warum geht dann der Auto-Invite bei dir nicht? Bitte.
Weiß ich nicht. Lad mich ja halt ein paar Hand ein, meine Güte.
Immer. Hallo.
Oh Gott, ich brauche dafür ein DLC. Ach, leck mich, ey. Die haben echt ein Problem. Mann. Ach, Greymore DLC. Greymore.
Hoffentlich passiert das bei uns nicht mit den 0,1%.
Ja, ich habe also da schon Schweine fliegen sehen. Es war tatsächlich der Heiler, der gefühlt, also im Log haben wir es dann nachher gesehen, 7 Sekunden sein eigenes Kampfgebiet nicht abgekriegt hat. Also
Oh nein.
das muss man auch erstmal schaffen, ne? Also war schon verrückt. Aber ja.
Wo ist das Greymore DLC?
Also bis Bobby da ist, wer noch sein Ult nicht voll hat, geht das mal aufladen.
The new heavy attack mythic isn't
Greymore.
garbage. It's actually
3500 Kronen, ey, die haben echt
really
so
good.
Lack gesoffen, ey.
So obviously you can't wear it and Oaken Soul at the same time, but if you were running a non-Oaken Soul heavy attack build, this is really good, because you were resourcing Empower from somewhere else. This stacks with Empower. I don't know if it's a, like, additive. I think it will be an additive stack, but essentially, you went from having 70% extra damage on your heavy attacks to now having 120% extra damage on your heavy attacks. So it's better. And all you give up for it is Anthelmir's Construct, usually. You can still run Sergeant on Jewelry and Body. you can still run a decent heavy attack set on body. It's actually really good. Like I think people are going to look at the first line about the light attacks and go, "Oh, this is garbage," and then not realize that this might actually make heavy attack builds like they're not going to be able to compete with light attack builds, especially with all the new stuff. But they're going to be a lot better, I think. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Hyper testing it. Because it's exactly the sort of thing that fit with his heavy attack builds. No, I'll post the video about going over the patch notes, but like genuinely, there's some interesting stuff in there. They nuked Dragon Knight Sustain for no fucking reason. Oh yeah, 100%. It's gonna be the return of Oaken Soul is now literally terrible because you can't run the other new mythic. Like, can you imagine? Ugh, this is gonna be beautiful. I'm so ready to see the tears and the rage. But yeah, I think the other two mythics were bad from what I remember. One of them was the stupid cheese wheel one, which isn't going to be good. Sorry. And then the Monomyth Reforged I think will be quite good in. I think the like one which gives you major force and minor berserk will actually be really good in PvP. Honestly, if there was a way to like replace Saxel Heal and Horn, it might actually be good in PvE as well, but I just don't think it's worth it. It'd actually be really good in unorganized groups, like pug groups. Would actually recommend it because you'll always have major force, you'll always have minor berserk. You don't have to worry about pug uptimes. Actually, come to think of it, it'll be where it'll be really good. It'll be really good in dungeons. Because it'll allow you to get very close to the crit cap. I don't ask how Zos codes the game. They did change some stuff, which was very obviously to help with server strain, which is interesting. But yeah, so if you run that mythic in dungeons, the Monomyth Reforged, that allows you to get, so it's essentially 100% major force uptime. And then if you're playing Arcanist, then you're at 104% without any minor brittle. Although it does mean you're dropping Velothi, so your minor force uptime will suffer. But I think it will still be worth it. Because you're essentially replacing minor force with major force and minor berserk, which you probably weren't getting. Especially if you're running like a 3DD group. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, actually, this is going to be really good for dungeons. I think you can quite possibly just like, you can actually like just drop minor force completely. And then you have enough pen from like, yeah, minor force is also easy to come by, like you can just run barb trap. But I think between that and then you've got the pen from all the fucking like Arcanist lines, I'm just thinking like you run that and then you forego major force. Maybe your tank provides minor brittle, then you can with flank finesse you can hit crit cap without minor force, and you don't even need barb trap then. But I think it's gonna be really good. It's gonna be really good in dungeons. I think, the more I think about it. And like minor vulnerability is kind of whatever. Like especially with all the extra armor that people will probably be getting. Yeah, I can't hear him either.
Okay, Bobby, we don't hear you. I don't know why.
No, you should be able to hear me now, no?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
richtig.
no. No, we hear you.
I was just setting up my connection.
Okay. All good. So if you are ready, stand on door. So as soon as Bobby comes in, we can start.
This is ECPA on the first two bosses, and then War Machine EC on the last one. I still think that the sword one might be okay, but apparently the numbers are garbage, so we'll see.
Oh, everybody ready?
Yep.
Looks like. Then 3, 2, 1, and go. Yeah, I think we were a bit slow here.
Are we running Mecha QT on that pool?
I hope everybody has acuity on themselves for this pool. But if not, then that would be a good place to put it next time. So ideally, you should all have like full ult here and ult here with acuity. So, I think the only two that shouldn't ult is UTEF and
Yeah. No,
I know.
I have not been ulting.
I didn't use my ult, so that I have it now nearly full.
Yeah, that's okay. You shouldn't, and also Tef shouldn't. But like the rest should ult at that pull with a QT for next time. Okay, count us in, Bobby.
Okay, free buff, pulling 3, 2, 1.
Totem. Arcanists, go there. Like, beam there, not go there. Sorry. Another totem. That was quite good. Count us in.
Pulling 3, 2, 1.
Remember Tidebreakers. Yeah, on that pull, please try to stay not exactly in their faces because, like, yeah, things like that can happen.
Pulling 3, 2, 1.
For the next pull, there were some people that should pull things in. I think it was Niels.
Yeah, you
Yep.
should pull the shaman.
Mhm.
You also remember Arcasis pull, mechanical acuity pull. Yeah, remember.
Yeah, Arcasis is the
Alright,
next one.
3, 2, 1. You kind of cheated. I'm sorry.
In their cases would be for this pull.
Yep.
No. And please take your pots. Because it's useless if you don't.
And remember to do them on the right bar.
Yeah, that also. Bobby, I don't know
Yeah.
if you have the markers that Exo sent me, but
No.
like, okay,
Oh, I need to
because
put
like,
those in.
Yeah. There is like, I mean, they're just green dots, but like there's one in the middle in the front row where you should have like put the boss so that we all can like go on our markers around it. But you can, if you have them for next time, it's also fine. I posted it in announcements. And like where the numbers 1 and 2 are, that's like in this direction. The 2 arcanists that go out, I think it's Azia and Nyla. You can orient yourself towards those 2 numbers, like 1 or 2. The only one that hasn't a marker is Angie, basically, but like she should be fine without.
Yeah, wait a second, I'm just slowing them in.
Yeah.
Good. But
You see
like,
them?
where should the boss be?
Like there's the front row, like towards the sea. There are 3 markers. The middle one is always the boss.
No, okay.
It's also
Okay.
with first one the same, like with the first boss.
Okay.
And then the tiny markers around them is like the numbers.
Yeah.
Without numbers. So
Alright, 3 buff.
count us in.
Pulling 3, 2, 1.
My pillager in 3, 2, 1.
Harpoon on the outside.
It's
If you're
next
an
to 1.
arcanist, try to beam it.
My pillager in 3, 2, 1.
There's a harpoon on the
Harpoon
left side.
entirely on
Right
the other
side.
side. Let's wipe it.
Nobody's interrupting the twin.
The twin.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
circle thingy
So
went
all
right through.
people that are like on 1 and 4, like on those position, we are gonna be the ones that try to interrupt.
No, you don't have to, I was just
Right.
lagging.
Yeah,
I
but
interrupted
if you're
Ed because
lagging, then
you-
we should still interrupt.
Yeah, fair enough.
So if you do it yourself, no need to interrupt, of course. But if like for whatever reason he channels, then we should also have an eye on it.
Alright, pulling 3, 2, 1.
Harpoon. Twin is there, so keep an
Pillager
eye on
in
him.
3, 2, 1.
My PA
Then we
times are
go.
going to be absolutely
What was this?
awful there.
So wait. Okay. Niels, you know what to do.
I take the big guy, right?
Yeah, you should have, but like
Yeah.
prison entirely in the back. Okay. If you want a DD to, yeah, at least like Niels has to run a bit faster and probably has to wait a tiny second if Niels is not there.
No, I
So
think
this is
fine.
where you should be all in acuity, unless you're. I guess it's Yuna and Nyla. You're the only two persons that shouldn't ult here. Everybody else should have ult here and acuity.
I think it's me who's not ulting because I'm on War Machine on the last boss.
Ah, okay.
I'm on War
Yeah,
Machine
right.
here, so I'm ulting here.
Yeah. Yeah, you are ulting here, definitely, Sakura. And I did mix that up. Yuna has War Machine on like first two bosses, and you are on last. So Tef is not ulting, and Nyla is not ulting here. But everybody should have an acuity setup here, and everybody else should have a full ult and ult here. So at least that's the plan. So okay, then count us in.
Right, pulling 3, 2, 1.
I think the knight's loose.
Yeah, it was a bit too.
Sorry, my bad.
It did take a bit too long. Let's wipe. Please don't kill anything if you do that.
Sorry, I wasn't aware that you were putting it to the back. I saw the
Yeah,
markers
all
here
good.
at the shaman, so I.
Yeah, that's the only markers we really ignore.
Okay,
I
okay.
didn't tell
That's fine.
that,
But now
but
my ulti is got dropped there.
yeah. I don't know if you can do an ult pull here.
Going 3,
Um,
2, 1.
yeah. So we do it like last time. If somebody dies on the first floor, we wipe. And start it again.
Frage hätte ich da noch kurz. Tut ihr rausdodgen in der Endphase, also in der Blutphase
Ja,
oder
genau, also
muss ich
derjenige,
das
der
machen,
praktisch,
oder?
ja, wenn du es hast, gehst du raus.
Ich habe so, okay. Also wenn ich
Also
den
die,
okay, ja, okay.
du meinst, ja, die
Also wenn
Blitzscheiße.
in der Blutphase quasi wir uns aufstellen, das
Ja.
kommt das dann halt.
In der Blitzphase
Ja, Nummer 2.
Belastien.
Ja, Wähler.
Du
Reicht.
weißt, wo du stehst?
Ja.
Okay, gut.
Beim Rausdodgen, sorry, das habe ich jetzt vielleicht nicht ganz verstanden. Also, wenn wir beide
Die
das haben. Ja,
die
wenn wir beide das
Blitzscheiße,
haben.
genau, dann geht. Also im Prinzip haben wir es immer rausgetragen aktuell auf der ersten Ebene.
So,
Eine
bei der-
Frage auf die zweite Stage
Es ging-
bezogen.
Ja,
Ja, ich
genau.
meine eher auf die
Also-
Blutphase, wenn wir uns unten
Ja, genau.
aufstellen und die Blutphase losgeht und wir Blitz kriegen, das meine ich.
Da sollten wir eigentlich maximal 2 Leute auf einmal gesteckt sein. Dann müssen wir einfach blocken.
Also,
Aber laut
okay.
eurem Sheet stehen ja
Aber
3 auf ihrer Position, deswegen.
Ja, aber die Arkanisten, also es gibt 2 Positionen, wo eigentlich 3 Leute draufstehen. Die Arkanisten sollten in der Phase, die 2 wissen aber Bescheid, die sollen nach hinten raus.
Oh, gut, ja, aber bei mir stehen 2, deswegen, die habe ich Symbolen denen verpasst.
Ja.
Deswegen wollte ich das jetzt
Also,
noch sagen. Also bleib ich quasi
bei dir
stehen.
müsste Elsia auf der Seite sein, die okay. Bobby, war dir langweilig? Let's
Wipen wir
wipe.
das? Ja, okay.
Are we wiping?
Oh, 6.
Ja.
Six
Big numbers.
instabilities. Nice.
Nee, mir geht es auch um die Blutphase, deswegen.
Ja,
Also das oben
mir
ist
auch.
klar, unten wegen der Blutphase.
Also die 2 Arkanisten, auf der einen Seite ist es Nyla, auf der anderen Seite ist es Elsia, die gehen also stehen nicht gestackt auf euch.
Okay.
Unten drunter. 1 unten drunter.
Ich kann aber auch nicht zu weit rausgehen.
Nee, du sollst ja nur gerade so rausgehen, dass es sich nicht überlappt.
Genau.
Okay, dann Bobby, count us in.
Noch eine Sekunde.
Ja.
Okay, weil mein Übersetzer hat das nicht übernommen.
Ja.
Ich glaube, ja.
Gut.
Okay. Alle bereit oder so?
Jo.
Jo.
Kannst.
3, 2, 1.
Villager in 3, 2, 1.
Dodged in the wrong direction, sorry.
Villager in 3, 2, 1.
Back up. Okay, wipe. Yeah, that was unlucky with stack up, and then we got instabilities. But
Wir waren zu lange dran.
yeah,
Mussten mehr öfter Ult werfen. Eigentlich.
Soll ich dann lieber so kleine Pillagers machen oder soll ich trotzdem bis 400 Punkte warten?
Jedes Mal ist auf Cooldown soll man eigentlich machen, oder?
Ja.
also immer wenn die 45 Sekunden rum
Ja,
sind
ja.
und dann kannst du nochmal.
Ja, weil
Oder
ich ja auch
gibt's
den
keine Main
Koloss,
Cross,
weil ich ja
genau.
Koloss auch verlängern muss,
Ja.
deswegen muss ich ja darauf auch warten.
Ja.
Ja, okay.
Aber wir sollten eigentlich genug Kolosse haben.
Ja,
Ja.
ja, alles gut.
Ja.
Okay.
Dann kann das
Okay,
hin, Bobby.
Creep up. Pulling in 3, 2, 1.
Lightning.
Oh, my bad, sorry.
Wipe it. Yeah, we could have seen it, but like.
No,
Ulti
it
noch
it,
mal
it
machen und dann
genuinely
wipen?
looked like it went in the other direction.
Wenn ihr Ult noch voll machen müsst, dann macht das immer voll. So if you need to fill up ult, you don't need to wipe immediately. You can try to gain as much as you want. If for some reason I don't see your colo. Ah no. Okay, now it's still
I was
weird.
dead.
Okay. Okay.
Halt,
Count us
Moment.
in.
Moment kurz.
Rebuff. Pulling 3, 2, 1.
NG.
Villager.
No, den Ult. Wipe it.
Das ist immer so unglücklich. Ich stehe immer zwischen zwei Leuten.
Anima worst case block. If you
Yeah.
like, if it's a bit.
Kann man das
I
blocken?
always block it.
Nein, kann man nicht.
Das
blocken.
kannst du nicht blocken. Shielde dich. Ich habe zum
Ja,
Beispiel
ja,
mit
gut,
meinem
das ist
Zweihänder einfach einmal Cleave gedrückt und hab's überlebt.
Okay. Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
Okay, then I will shield beam.
Shield
Ja.
beam. Yeah. Okay.
Rebuff.
Yeah.
Pulling 3, 2, 1.
Wipe it. If you see the mini like standing in group or something, I mean, he shouldn't be there, but if he's there and you see it as a DD, go behind him. Like, don't stand in front of him. No matter how weird he is, like, standing. Okay. Counters in.
8, 2, 1.
ANG.
Pillager.
Okay.
Right.
Mein Pillager.
Block cast.
Back up. Right. Yep, that's too slow. Can wipe it there. If you can do it. Yep. Counters in.
Debuff. 3, 2, 1.
My
Lightning
Pillager.
works really well, by the way. No. Lightning.
damage, big damage.
Right?
Big watch out. Okay.
My pillager.
Dead one out.
Block.
Wipe it. But it was really, really good. Like, until it wasn't. Like, damage was really good. And
Buff.
again.
Pulling 3, 2, 1.
Pillager in 3, 2, 1.
Dead one out. Oh my god. Me too.
I think we skipped one there.
I think so, yes.
Leave one many.
I think I'm
Nice.
offline.
Oh,
You are just standing there menacingly.
Yeah, you're freezing.
okay, we don't wipe. No, no, no.
Oh,
No. No, we wipe. Okay, then we do a short break until Pixel is back. What I got? Let's do a 6-minute break.
I'm gonna disappear for a second then, guys.
You lost count for a second.
Finally.
Now Sakura is offline. So
Yeah, I'm relogging.
Someone's already hit 150k parse on PTS.
are we?
That's insane.
Ja. Und jetzt wieder zur Gruppe laufen. Dumm.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm disconnected again.
Oh no.
Ah,
I'm restarting the PC. Second, please.
Okay. Bobby, you're back.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. We still have to wait for Pixel. He's disconnecting again. He will reset stuff. But while we are waiting, I hope everybody's there. I got like a thing I'm pondering about, like especially concerning this group and its future, because like I know that I will be gone at like, let's say, latest July because of pregnancy and stuff like this. So there's a final date. I got like an offer from a large raiding Discord that we can transfer the group from our little Discord there. It's Invictus. The advantage would be like, I would find it easier to find replacement players because they are a larger group, and a lot of the guys that are running with us right now are actually from that server. And also like maybe if I'm like gone, even if nobody from the group itself wants to like lead the group on, then maybe you find somebody from there that might be interested in like taking the group over. So I'm not sure if we should do that or not. I just wanted to hear your thoughts about it. Like, I don't know. So we would just change Discords in that case, but the group itself would stay as it is right now. It would make it a bit more easier for me to like get replacements in.
I mean, I don't
I
mind
hope.
at all.
Yeah. And also because like I mean, Sana and me were managing this little Discord here, but Sana is not sure if he wants to continue playing ASO or not. And I mean, it's definitely safe that I will be gone, at least for a while. Latest in July, so that we didn't find anybody else that wanted to like run the server. So it might be that, yeah, there's nobody there to like manage stuff or things. So that's the second reason I thought about like transferring this group from this server to another server, so that like hopefully you can like go on existing and having fun. Especially because in July, no, June, the update will like drop and maybe it will be more fun. I don't know. But like, yeah, I was thinking about it for quite a while now. So if like anybody has any concerns or any other things, just like voice them, because like I don't want to decide just like over your heads, you know. But yeah. But since it's awfully quiet, I don't know. Okay,
Ja, der
Animal likes.
Slowak klingt doch, als der ist in Ordnung. Von daher.
Ja. Ich sage so kurz nochmal in Deutsch, weil ich weiß jetzt nicht, ob Angie da alles mit verstanden hat. Also,
Zur Hälfte.
ja, die Idee war halt, die Gruppe halt auf Invictus
Ja.
zu transferieren,
Mhm.
damit, spätestens wenn ich wegfalle,
Mhm.
halt irgendwie die Gruppe noch weiter existieren kann.
Mhm.
Weil ich sehe jetzt auch nicht, dass irgendjemand den Hafen-Discord übernimmt.
Mhm.
Sana ist sich nicht sicher, ob er jetzt zu ESO zurückkommt oder nicht. Vielleicht doch, vielleicht nicht, vielleicht. Ja.
Es ist unsicher.
Und ich falle halt raus. Ja.
Ja.
Und dann ist halt keiner mehr da, so wirklich. Und das ist halt, wäre schade. Und ich will
Mhm.
zumindest irgendwie euch die Gelegenheit geben, dass ihr einfach weitermachen könnt. Und das könnt ihr halt definitiv auf einem größeren Server besser.
Mhm.
Das war meine Idee.
Das ist doch eine gute Idee. Also meine Meinung.
Okay. So,
Weiß nicht,
since nobody.
Ja, also ich kenne den Server ja auch schon eine ganze Weile.
Ja.
Ich war da auch mal Raid-Lead vor einer Weile. Ist schon eine Weile her, wie gesagt. Aber die Leute da sind auch alle sehr nett.
Ja, deshalb. So since I didn't hear anyone complaining, I will like talk to Flonker about like transferring it. And then if it's like done, then you will all get like an announcement to switch server, and then yeah, we continue as we did before. There. So, Pixel, you're back.
Yeah, but the loading screen is taking a little bit too
Oh.
long. Hoping
Yeah,
this
okay.
goes well.
So yeah.
Ich versuche mich auch gerade im Raid-Lead, beim offenen Raid bei Invictus.
Ja, habe ich
hab's
gesehen.
Ich war Zeuge.
Du warst Zeuge.
Puff. Es hat Puff,
Puff
gemacht.
Aber wir haben
Aber
den ersten
lustig.
Blick. Wir
Ja,
haben den
ja,
ersten
gell?
Blick. Ja, komm. Also das schaffen andere nicht.
Ja. Doch, die schaffen den ganzen Raid. Das war lustig. Ja. Ist alles entspannt. Ich finde mich da erst rein. Fabio, bist du
Sind
da?
halt ab und an mal Dinge passiert.
Ja.
Sorry, Saba.
Ich
How do
glaub,
I
er
how
ist
do I
immer
see
noch
what?
halb offline.
Aber
He's
ist das
still
in
like
dem
Ja, wurde
spamming
wieder
everybody.
rausgekickt.
I've seen a 180k parse, which, if it's real, is insane. Oh, the group changes. I mean, I don't mind. Like, I don't mind if it's on another server. I like this group. I'd like to keep raiding with them, so I don't want to see it collapse. So if Red can move servers to make it easier to manage, then yeah. But no, I just saw a 180k parse on Discord. I don't know if I think it's real. And if it is, that's insane. Like if okay, but you say we'll go an insane era here, so but like 180k DPS absolutely trivializes so much content. Like it literally like most content you're thinking of like becomes so ridiculously easy with that much damage.
Debuff. Pulling in 3, 2, 1.
Mein Pillager in 3, 2, 1.
Okay, rest this time. Right. Oh, wipe it. Pixel, you were really late pulled in, right?
Yeah, but
Or
I
was it just my
immediately.
speed?
Yeah, but I immediately rest someone and I got
I
to
think
the.
Ah, okay.
honestly, for a lot of players, bad insane. Like burning through shit is fun and all, but like if you're literally not seeing any mechanics ever because your group is pulling that much damage, then like they really need to go over it with a balance mind. If that 180k parse is real, and that is with the Templar Crow arc thing, like that's I think that's actually kind of bad for the game.
Rebuff. Pulling in 3, 2, 1.
Pillager in 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, try to rest.
Pillager in 3, 2, 1.
Okay. Like that's the one thing you really have to look out for. If you're stacked and if you're damaging in a lightning phase, watch out for this. Especially if we are late. I mean, we were late now because somebody died, but it might be for another reason that we are late. And you really have to watch out for it. Like, it will happen then during that phase, and you have to be prepared to move instantly. Right.
Rebuff.
And that's
Fully 3, 2, 1.
Angie, as soon as you see a colo, drop.
I'm on Nazareth, yeah.
Ah, okay. Yeah, then drop it.
I will do, but like Pawn first is better. We want Pillaging.
No, I mean Angie.
Yeah. Sorry, many players. Got it now.
Okay, wait it.
I lag.
I just dropped my ult.
You can try to get some.
I'm trying.
What was that that killed me? Like vampirischer Griff?
That's from the mini.
Ah.
Because he was loose, I guess.
He was. I think you even went to the lightning.
Yeah.
Someone of the line. Not sure.
Okay.
Got a classic synergy bug. Alright, rebuff. 1, 3, 2, 1.
I got lag like hell.
My pillager in 3, 2, 1.
Right? Try to res. Block cast.
My pillager in 3, 2, 1.
Grabby hands will come up in a few, so be prepared. Okay, wipe it. Yeah, we can't really lose somebody before it.
Rest easy. I will put your corpses to good use.
I'll reload UI real quick.
Yeah, sure.
Never mind, bug is still there. I forgot. Right, pre-buff. Going 3, 2, 1.
Are we wiping?
Yeah. I just wanted to rest Bobby for fucks and giggles.
No, we're in combat. Can't teabag him.
Okay.
I can't BM.
Hey, you can
got a
crouch
visual
in
bug?
combat.
I think it's because I had one of the abilities active.
No, you can. Okay.
Alright, let's go 3, 2, 1.
Villager in 3, 2, 1.
Try to rest. Focus.
Villager in 3, 2, 1.
Right. Ja. Oh, das.
Meine, selbst wenn wir den Kite vernünftig spielen, aufgrund des einen Heilers sind wir trotzdem fucked.
Ja, ja.
Ganz, ganz knapp
Ja.
überlebt.
Weil ich oft auf den anderen Beam wechsle. Also gerade wenn es zum Ende hingeht.
Mhm.
Ja,
Weil ich hab,
für den
ja.
Kite müssen wir auseinanderlaufen und wenn man auseinanderläuft, können nicht alle gleichmäßig geheilt werden. Das ist einfach der.
Nee, schon klar. Schon klar. Aber ich
Das
hab.
darf aber nicht passieren. Müssen einfach mehr Damage haben.
Also ich lege zwar
Ja.
meine Flächen
Ja.
versetzt, aber.
Wir dürfen halt einfach davor keinen verlieren. Dann fehlt
Und
uns
wenn wir
Damage.
mit Barriere in der Phase.
Dann fehlt uns nochmal Damage.
Ja,
Karriere macht
die ist
nichts.
halt auch. Ja, die ist auch halt gleich weg.
Eigentlich zwei Chicks oder so, dann ist die Barriere auch weg.
Ja.
Ja. So.
Mhm.
We just
Ihr
need to
könnt
like.
Glyphik nutzen, der gibt auch Magie und
Nee.
Waffenkraft, aber auch Heilung.
Graphic?
Ja, du musst nur mehr Damage machen. Heilung
Ja.
halt.
We need more damage. Way more.
Du musst passen.
I mean, if you don't lose anybody, it works, but we.
Ja,
don't
aber sogar
really.
dann soll es Grund geben.
Okay. Good. Then.
Pre-buff. Pulling in 3, 2, 1.
That's right, Velo. I always throw. It's like my job.
My pillager in 3, 2, 1.
Aber Lightning läuft. Is really good. Lightning phase. So. That works at least.
Oh.
We need to cut. So.
Ja, das.
My pillager in 3, 2, 1.
Das
Ja,
war aber,
fast.
glaube ich,
Das
nicht
war jetzt
gelaufen,
fast.
oder? War eigentlich perfekt.
Ja, das reißen wir. Alles gut.
Minnie's dead.
Prison.
Two prisons.
Go to your
Everyone
positions.
ever.
Yuna, yeah, I think it should be you dodge rolling backwards. Oh shit. That hit me through a wall.
My pillager in 3, 2, 1.
Dead? Are you dead or something?
I am dead.
Ah, okay, never mind.
I got hit by an exploding
Somebody
Falcon.
rest Hef, please.
No, that's alright. I'm just waiting for your color. That's
Oh. Yeah. No. It ain't coming.
What? Sorry, my bad.
No, everybody rest, please. And do prison. It's on Sakura.
Date.
Go to your positions.
My pillage in 3, 2, 1.
Don't rest in this phase. If the phase is over, go rest, people. Okay, now rest. I only see Tef resing. That's too slow. Rest of you, go rest.
Oh my god. I literally fell down and immediately
Yeah.
got exploded. Sorry, I'm throwing.
There's still dead people. Still, so go. No, not yet.
My pillage in 3, 2, 1.
Don't rest in this phase. Wait till it's over, then rest, people, please. And I mean quick. Everybody that's alive, go rest.
By the way, all the dead bodies should be downstairs, so like 4
Yeah.
downstairs. Stand behind the boss, please.
Bodies
Now
are
you
down.
can rest. I'm still dead.
I've got the res.
Uh,
I don't have it.
that's okay.
My pillage in 3, 2, 1.
Torturers.
Poison in group.
Remember to block cast.
Sorry, it is. I suck with the pools. This time. My resource management is bad.
Torturers. Block cast.
Pillage in 3, 2, 1.
Kill him.
Yeah, those 2 phases were better last time.
I mean, he does more damage the more people that die. So
Yeah.
having like everyone die just meant that the execute was very hard.
So what I like to do is like reset quickly and just do the trash and the first boss again, and then we are done for today. But like, and we try not to die on our way to the first boss and also doing the first boss. Also, I don't know who doesn't have an EQT setup. If you don't have it yet and you're not a replacement but a permanent member, please get one for next time. Okay, it's reset.
Okay, no way this is real. I just saw a 220k parse on the PTS. There's no way that's real, right? Please tell me that's not real. Oh, I just ported to the wrong fucking trial. I'm sorry, I'm so used to resetting and going into this asylum. I just immediately ported into asylum after getting ult.
Autopilot.
Don't worry, it's like that for every long proc you do. If you don't think about it, you automatically go.
Also, what I would be good, like look up where your war machine stacks are, left or right, and we try to do them. So if you're left, try to stand a bit left. If you're right, you're right. So second door. 3, 2, 1.
I know that we're not obviously voting for a full clear, so you might be wondering, oh, why did I do the live split? And it's because we could still get a new best time on the boss.
Behind. 3, 2, 1.
I didn't have enough time to switch setups, I'm still on Arcasis.
Yeah. We need to be careful here with pulling too fast because like I wasn't able to switch setups. I wasn't out of combat. So
I thought they were all dead.
Like we need to like have a QT on the Akasis on the pull before, and then a QT here. So
Yeah, but you can like pre-buff the setup by the time when you're before like you when in combat.
yeah, but it didn't switch because I was never 1 second out of combat. That was the problem. Like it didn't for me at least. I don't know. I already selected a
Do we
QT
have a
before.
DD pulling all trash on some of the pulls? Like, do we have a DD with
Yeah,
chain?
the little ones you mean? Yeah. Okay, for next time. Okay.
Because the big ones were
Counters in.
dead, I think, but the small ones are still there. Alright, let's go. 3, 2, 1.
Rip.
Somebody didn't dodge.
I didn't see any notification.
Villager in 3, 2, 1.
Totem behind you. If you're an Arcanist, try to reach it. Dodge.
Auch Angie, du bist auf Nazareth hier, also musst du on
Also, ja,
direkt.
ja.
Where the fuck is he going?
He's following me.
Kann ich es nochmal machen?
Ja, ich würde nochmal machen, wenn ich Red für bin.
Ja, lass bleiben.
Dann machen wir einen Ult-Pool.
Ja. Nicht töten, bitte. Bleibt. Schneller. Okay. Wer Akasis hat, anybody that has Akasis, switch to Akasis for quick ult pull.
Auch Angie, du musst nicht Pillager callen, wenn du den Collo siehst, kannst du automatisch.
Okay. Okay.
Ich dachte, dass die DDs nicht auf ihren Ults rumsetzen. Weißt du?
Ja, wenn man als DD soll man ganz am Anfang was ulten. Also wenn die Ulte nicht
Ja,
runter ist seit 3 Sekunden oder so, dann kann man machen.
Ja, es hieß, ich soll ansagen, deswegen habe ich es angesagt.
Ja, in Trash und solche Sachen denke ich, ist das gut so, aber.
Okay.
So, aber kannst du immer sagen, so Pillager und dann sagst du das.
Ja.
Okay.
Gut. Dann machen wir einen Ult.
Aber immer zum
We do an
Anfang
ult
ist
pull.
besser. Okay, okay, that's cool.
Those that have full ult can die. Okay. Everybody on their right setup again?
Pre-buff. Pulling 3, 2, 1.
Miniature.
Totem. Outside, so beam it if you can.
Dev whenever. Still got it.
Totem. Outside, so
What?
okay, wipe it.
What? I was lagging. Sorry.
You still got problems with Vodafone?
Ja. Ja, aber ich hol so ein LAN. Wir fixen unser LAN-Ende aus momentan.
Okay.
Also bald soll es gut sein. Heißt halt eigentlich LAN-Netzwerk, aber er funktioniert nicht genau. Ich habe einen Kumpel, der ist so solche Scheiße macht. Also immer sein.
Okay.
Multiple.
Pull. Yes.
Multiple.
And if you're full, what?
No, sorry. Der Sierra war ein bisschen tödlich.
Okay. Still ghosts. Good.
Über.
Can count us in.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
Sorry, misclick.
I'm putting.
Pulling 3, 2, 1.
Lucky.
I paid a transfer.
Totem outside.
Don't need to focus the totem, just kill the boss. Only poison one.
Even then, you don't really focus it. You just
Yeah, but
beam it.
Just kill the boss.
don't risk too much, Bobby.
I mean, I did my DB like 2.5 years ago. We did kill tokens. So I don't know. People are dying because they're not blocking. Can't change that.
Okay, der Giant.
Is that us
Okay.
done for the night?
No, but like for today, that was it. I'm not sure if we can run on Wednesday because I'm still missing 2 positions, and they are not easy to fill, especially you, Tev.
Sorry, I have a friend in town, and I don't want to be like, "Hey, you've just gotten there from the train station. Now, go and do something whilst I raid."
Yeah, sure, but like it's still hard to like if
Yeah.
you know somebody that can play Necro,
I don't think
ask
I
them.
do. Sorry.
So yeah, I will try to find replacements until tomorrow evening, and if I don't have any, then I will cancel it tomorrow evening. So you have a bit of time to like adjust, because like it doesn't make any sense if I don't find like Necro and the Sorg. So yeah. And next week Monday it's Easter Monday, so I will make a poll about how many people want to run there, and if like most of you are saying nah, I'm with family or I'm on holidays or so, then we skip next week Monday. Yeah, so but other than that, like, see you the next time.
You.
It gets
Good
better,
night.
but slowly.
Good night.
Good night.
Night. Gonna call stream there, but I'm gonna see if I can find someone to raid. Is 8 still alive?